O-line, D-line, and defensive backs. But first, each team is assigned one quarterback. Landry Jones was reunited with Bob Stoops in Dallas. Cardell Jones went to D.C. and Aaron Murray to Tampa Bay. The draft is going on right now. Just go to xfl.com for live updates. Should be fun. Looking forward to that. On a short week, Broncos head coach Vic Fangio has already begun to turn the page to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And yesterday, Fangio paid Mahomes the ultimate compliment, comparing him to his Hall of Fame boss, saying, quote, "I think he's like John Elway was in the 80s and 90s. Shannon, is this a valid comparison?
Yeah, I think when you look at the arm talent, Skip, and the baseball background, I think that's the biggest thing, is that both of these guys can throw the ball over 60 yards. John could throw the ball anywhere on the field. They had a lot of roll right, throwback left, and John was throwing the ball 55, 60 yards. They don't have a lot of that in Mahomes' playbook, but he could do that if he wanted to. John can throw the ball well from the pocket. John can move, the athleticism. So, yeah, a little Brett Favre-ish also, Skip, because he would try things. Now, John wouldn't try all the things that Patrick Mahomes would try.
Nope.
He definitely wouldn't try that. I think when it comes to, like, the trying the things with throwing the ball and all that other stuff, I think he's more Brett Favre. But as far as just, like, throwing the ball, athleticism, baseball background, I can see where Coach Fangio would say, okay, yeah, he does remind you a little bit of John. And I think the thing is, later in John didn't run as much later in his career as he did early, like Skip in the 80s and early 90s. But John can motor. John can move really well. He was very, very, very mobile, very athletic. He didn't run quite as much later because we didn't need him to. We had a great running game. He had guys he can get the ball, put the ball in their hands, and we can make plays for him. But I can see the why Coach Fangio would say that.
It has come to this for the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe, former Denver Bronco, that he embraces the comparison of Patrick Mahomes to John Elway, the quarterback he played with and won 2 rings with.
I did.
And yet his love for Mahomeboy, as he calls Patrick Mahomes, who just lost 2 straight games at home. So I'm not sure he's homeboy anymore. My road boy?
Well, we tried to make it 3 in a row.
I don't know. So to me, this was such blasphemy, except it's actually brilliant blasphemy from Vic Fangio on Kansas City week in Denver. They play Thursday night.
Yeah.
Smart.
Kansas City is a 3-point favorite on the road at Denver. And so why not just heap more unfair pressure and expectation on the kid as he comes to the house of, it's John Elway's house. I don't care what you say. It's still his house, right?
It is.
And he still runs.
He does.
Not only the organization, but he runs the town, right?
Yep.
He's got car dealerships. He's got.
I don't think he has any more car dealerships, but he got restaurants.
Okay, he's got restaurants. So the point is, I thought it was beautiful. It was really smart to make this comparison because, look, in the biggest picture, Patrick Mahomes has won 1 playoff game in his life.
Right.
John went 14-7 in the postseason.
Right.
It's pretty great.
Right.
And he got to 5 Super Bowls, and he won 2 with you.
Right.
Lost his first 3, but you can argue he was just overmatched. He didn't have a deal.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes has only been in the league 2 years.
Okay. So don't you think it's almost like sacrilegious to even go there yet?
Yeah, but I'm not saying he's going to have the careers, John. I mean, he's off to a blazing start. I mean, to win the MVP in his first full year as a starter, that speaks to something. It'd have been very interesting. I'd like to see these guys have a throw-off contest if John was in his prime to see who could actually throw the ball the farthest. I don't know, Skip. I think John could probably throw the ball harder. I don't think people realize how hard John Elway could throw the ball.
I remember all the stories about splitting the
webbing in the fingers, yeah.
Like,
oh, he definitely would rip. He definitely, I mean, I would go through 2-3 pair of gloves a week because he would just split them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever bleed between your...
No, I mean, he's saying here. You know, hey, I made my living with these things here.
Well, some of the little diva whiteouts, they were all talking about they would bleed.
Yeah.
You would split the webbing.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, he would throw it, and you catch it with your chest, you could hear it. It sounded like somebody hitting the drum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he could throw it.
Feel it.
And especially in warm-ups, because the adrenaline is pumping.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm like,
Wow.
He get going.
I saw John Elway in his first 3 years. He was a better runner than Patrick.
Oh, yeah, no question. No question.
He was an athlete.
No
He was
question.
A stud athlete.
No question. No question.
Could have been a baseball star. I don't know if Patrick could have been a baseball star, but he could have been pretty good.
Yeah.
But John Elway was.
Yeah, John was a right fielder.
Yeah.
So you got to have a tremendous arm to play that.
Could have been a New York Yankee.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. He threatened that. That's why I think Cush was the owner of the at the time. No, it was in Baltimore, Skip. It was the owner. The owner, his dad.
Of the Orioles?
No. The Colts owner.
You're saying?
Ursa, yeah, he threatened like, nah.
Yeah. Okay.
I ain't fooling. I'm not fooling. Kush was the coach.
Oh,
He's
Kush
like,
was the coach.
yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Ursa Senior.
Okay, I
Ursa
got it.
Senior.
He's a
They're like, nah, I'm not going. I'm done with you guys. I'm not going. So they ended up moving him to Denver.
We do need to get you on record right here, right now. On Thursday night, you are going to root for my homeboy or my Broncos.
Skip, stop.
Huh?
The Broncos.
That's what I
you root
thought
for the
you were gonna
Broncos?
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier
I don't
you made a
believe
little
that.
side
Yeah.
Because your pride is on the line.
My
You
pride
need
is on the
my
line.
homeboy.
My pride is
Huh?
on
So
the
what about
line.
my
Lost
homeboy?
it's,
I don't care.
It's the team you picked to win the Super Bowl.
They can win.
Seriously?
You're not rooting for the Broncos. You're saying the right thing, but you're not thinking.
Skip, I just came from the Broncos.
Yeah.
They treat me really, really well.
Okay, yeah. That's just,
You were
got
just
your
with
orange-
them.
Yes.
You were just
Yes.
with them. Okay.
They treat me really well.
Yeah, you had a great ovation when you
Got them
spoke
hyped.
to the crowd.
They didn't let me come to Dallas and get them hype. I get them hype.
Maybe that's what we should
For a
be doing.
nominal fee, Jay.
Someone else could hype or motivate, if you will. The Browns, guys, another tough weekend. Is the Browns locker room already falling apart?
All we got to do is try to be 1-0 this week, beat the Dallas Cowboys. We're in first place. And listen, they're reeling too. I mean, they're struggling too. They've dropped their last 3 games. So we're going down to Dallas, and our guys are going to be ready to play. And we're going to win that football game. And when we do, we're in first place in the NFC East. We control our own destiny. We're right where we need to be.
All right, and then a few hours later, Peterson clarified that he wasn't guaranteeing a win, but that he doesn't regret giving that impression. So, Shannon, do you like Peterson's explanation?
No, go ahead and stick with what you said. You said you're going down to Dallas and you're going to get this win. Your team's going to be ready to play. Got no problem with that. I love with my coach. Brian Billick was notorious for writing checks that his team, the Baltimore Ravens, we had to cash.
Yep.
Got no problem with that, Skip. No problem whatsoever, because now he's already put it out there. It's bulletin board material. I know they're going to tack it up on the board and they're going to walk by and see what Brian had said. And that team is going to be ready to play. So we knew we had to be on our best behavior, or as we say, our worst behavior, because we was going to meet fire with fire. Jeff Fisher once says we're coming to the game with a 2x4. Well, we're going to build a house with your asses. That's what we're going to do with them 2x4s. Yeah. So you come ready to play. We're going to be ready to play too. I like it. I like it. Doug and Pete guaranteed to win, and I'm backing him up. So you be ready.
So you're saying he did guarantee a win?
Guaranteed it.
Quote from Doug prediction yesterday. Never said guarantee a win. I'd never do that. That was in his backtrack.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it.
Never said guarantee a win. Huh. Yet I just heard him say, we're going to go down there and win the football game.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
So that sounds like guarantee.
Yeah, that's what he gonna do. Yeah.
Guarantee-ish.
What he supposed to say? Are we going to go down there and lose?
Well, his point to the reporters later was, I want to show support of my football team. I want to show I have confidence in my football team.
That's right.
He was angry with the tone of questions on the WIP interview, the radio interview on which he first spoke. And he said, yeah, the sky's falling outside, but we're going to go down there, we're going to win the football game, because I do believe he thinks they're going to go down there and kick the Cowboys behind.
Yep.
Because he says we're both reeling football teams, but my team, the Dallas Cowboys, they're really reeling because they've lost 3 in a row. And I think he's seen enough game tape so far to say, that's a dysfunctional group, man. They're completely overrated. They don't believe in their coach. So what I told you yesterday as we reacted on the fly to this on the show when we first heard about it was, I'm just hoping that my players use him to motivate them the way their head coach is incapable of motivating them. And unfortunately, so far, at least publicly, it has not worked. And did you see Jason Garrett's response?
What did he say?
I did. I was hoping you'd bring this up, Skip.
What did he say?
Jason Garrett says, my response is, we're excited about the challenge. Obviously, they're a great football team, and we're going to focus on ourselves and what we need to do to prepare to play our best football on Sunday night, said Coach Clapp.
I liked that Garrett voice. That was a good Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett.
That was well done.
Don't you,
Big Red, as you call him.
don't you want him to be true to himself?
That's who he is.
Okay.
So there are a bunch of player quotes. in USA today, and none of them were very good because they were taking on Coach Clapp's personality. And even Michael Gallup said, if you need a coach or anybody else to fire you up, I don't think you really should be playing in the first place.
Yeah, see, that's Skip, not what he said.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I'm not looking for anybody to fire me up, said Michael Gallup, who said, I had 3 balls go right through my fingers Sunday at Jets. That's what he said. And he did. 2 of them were just flat out cold drops, and the other one was catchable but not a drop. He just should have caught it because it hit him on the fingertips.